So there's lots of things that you can do with your used eggshells. But what we like to do and what I like to do is I like to feed them back to our chickens. Um, and we are in eggs right now. We're getting about 5 a day and from our 6 hens. And so we've been eating eggs like crazy. So we have lots of eggshells going on here. And the best thing that I found to do is feed them back to our girls. Why do we feed them back to the ladies? We feed them back because chickens need the calcium, and eggshells have calcium in them. So why do chickens need calcium? The calcium, eggshells have calcium in them. They need that calcium to make eggshells for future eggs. Otherwise, what happens is the hen's body will pull calcium from her own bones and weaken her own bones in order to produce healthy eggs. Because every egg that's laid, whether it's fertile or not, the hen's body is hoping that it hatches into a chicken to keep their lines going. Another reason to feed crushed eggshells back to your chickens is because it helps to prevent eating their own eggs. One of the reasons why chickens eat their own eggs is because they are calcium deficient, and it is a way to get calcium is eating their own eggs. Chickens are kind of smart in that way. They know what their bodies need, and they, given the option, they don't eat poisonous plants. How do we do this? So you could just like crush them up a little and feed them back. I don't like to do that. So what we're going to do is spread our eggshells out on a tray, and we're going to stick them in the oven at 350 degrees for 5 to 10 minutes till they dry out. And what you're wanting is the membrane to dry out so that you can actually crush it, because otherwise it just doesn't work. Alright, so let's do that. And there's stuff in our oven. We have breadfruit in the oven. So let's do that. Turn it on to 350. By the way, the bread was not actually cooking in the oven, it was proofing in the oven. So you do that just by turning on the light and putting a damp towel over it, and it proofs really easily. So we're gonna wait for 5 to 10 minutes until the membranes are dry. Remember, 350 degrees, 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll show you what to do. Alright, so there is another way that I almost forgot to mention, that you can dry out the eggshells in a short amount of time, and that is using a dehydrator. We would use our Excalibur dehydrator to do this. You could do a whole batch of eggs and just fill your dehydrator with eggshells, or you could just throw a few in when you're dehydrating something else. But the oven is probably the quickest way to do it, because it's only like 10 minutes or so of time rather than a couple hours in the dehydrator. So yeah, oven and dehydrator. Alright, so our eggshells are ready to come out the oven, and they got a little bit crispy. So there's our eggshells, and one just went all over my floor. Alright, I'll get that in a second. And so these are our eggshells, all dried out and crispy. So you could do a couple of different things now. You could just crush them with your hands and kind of leave them the way they are. I like to use mortar and pestle and kind of just grind them, and so that's what I'm going to do right now. Now, different people have different preferences on how fine to crush their eggshells. I like mine not super big, but I don't like it a powder. And I figure if some get powderish, it's okay because others won't. So the goal is, when you're crushing these, is to not make them reminiscent of eggs, because you don't want them to know. You don't want to take the risk of developing any bad habits related to eating eggs. So this is what it looks like. So there are our eggshells. Let's go out and see the chickies and fill up their free choice feeder with eggshells, and I'll show you how we do that. Alright, let's go. Alright, so we are out at the chicken coop, the back door of the chicken coop, and let's go ahead and put our crushed eggshells into their feeder. Alright, so we keep a little dish back here with the eggshells in it. And I'm just going to add to that. And they get this free choice. This is here all the time. We just tuck it away in the little corner. They know it's there. Make sure their feeder has food in it. And we have eggs. Alright, so there you have it. That's how we use our eggshells. Typically, we could also compost them if we wanted to, but since we have the chickens, they need the calcium. It's super easy to save a few back, do a batch, put them in the oven or dehydrator, and then crush them and feed them back to the chickens. It increases their calcium so that their bodies don't have to pull from their bones, which in turn increases the eggshell thickness, which is always a good thing. Thick eggshells are awesome, because that means they're not going to break as easily when you're moving them around. So what do you guys do with your old eggshells? Do you compost them? Do you use them to start new... Ladies, you're loud. Do you use them to start new plants or to deter garden pests like slugs and snails? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of what we do, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.